All right.
Good afternoon. Please, all of you have.
I should be your co-counsel today. There are certain brief clarifications that I've been asked to provide to you. We'll be scoring the participants. These are the sources provided to you. Apart from that, 2 memorials of each team have been provided to you. Apart from that, you have the bare acts at your disposal. And there is the file which includes the file problem, the proposition. Apart from that, the clarification that the participants seek from us and the responses that we have given them. The rules are also written in here. Apart from that, I'll be keeping a time sheet with me, and I'm supposed to mark it if they, at any point in time, they extend their duration, they have to seek a permission from bench. If they do not seek permission from bench, the bench is free to mark them likewise. For any submissions that they are supposed to make, they shall first seek your permission, and I shall then provide it to you. You'll also provide from that any feedback that you may want to provide to the participants will be done at the end as per your disposal. That's it from my side. May I take attention, please? May I declare the voting session? Or is there anything else that I can?
This memorandum will be for both the sides of each team?
Yes, sir. This is the memorandum of the defense. This is of the prosecution. The prosecution is sitting on the left side, and the defense is on the right.
So they have, from the very beginning, they were aware that they are going to be a prosecution side.
Yes.
Or
The memos have been exchanged with them as well. Both the parties have memorials of each other. The court is in session. Prosecution may proceed with its opening statements.
The counsel seeks permission to approach the witness.
Suit your comfort. If you feel that you can address loudly.
Yes, I can loudly address. Can I have you address without the mic? It is indeed a privilege for the counsel to present their submission before this honorable court. The counsel seeks permission to collectively address the bench as Your Honor. Much obliged, Your Honor. Justice Ganguly once said, miscarriage of justice that may happen from the acquittal of the guilty is no less than conviction of an innocent. Your Honor, in the case of State of Gujarat versus Ravi Shekhar, me and my co-counsel are appearing on behalf of prosecution. The counsel is present today before this honorable court because this honorable court has the requisite jurisdiction under section 197, read with 21 and 232 of the BNSS. Further, the counsel confers the power to deliver the opening statement under section 249 of the BNSS. Your Honor, the brief facts of the case goes like this. Victim, Neha Chopra, was the head of a tech evaluation committee which consults government highway projects. The accused, Ravi Shekhar, the MD, Managing Director of Shekhar Infra Private Limited, submitted a bid for the government project. They both are in two different companies. Since the accused submitted a bid, this bid was ultimately rejected by the committee which was headed by the victim Neha Chopra. As a result, since the accused was under financial crisis and was under the impending liquidation proceedings, he was agitated, angry and dejected because of the decision that victim and this whole committee took. As a result of which, on 5th April 2025, the accused reached the victim's workplace and openly threatened her and the other committee members, saying that those responsible for this will not be spared. After that, further, Your Honor, on the night of 11th April 2025, the victim was suddenly found severely injured in a semi-conscious state in a pool of blood. She was found at Charodi, Gotha, at the SJ Highway Service Road. Your Honor, the post-mortem report, which is the medical evidence here, suggests that the death occurred. I apologize for that, because before that, the victim was taken to the hospital, civil hospital of Ahmedabad, where she was declared dead at 11:21 p.m. The post-mortem report says that the death occurred because of craniocerebral injury due to blunt force trauma on the occipital region, which is this part of the head. Because of that, a blunt force, she died and she was under semi-conscious state, after which she was declared dead in the civil hospital. Further, Your Honor, at the initial stage, it was treated as a hit and run case. But further, the evidences were collected which suggested, medical and forensic evidence suggested it was not a hit and run but rather a homicidal death. As a result of which, thorough investigation was done by the police officer, which concluded that strong circumstantial evidences were found against the accused, linking him to the crime. Firstly, his vehicle, as per the CDR report, was found in the vicinity of the crime scene, which is further corroborated by the CCTV footage of Toll Plaza and the CDR, that is Call Detail Records report. Furthermore, Your Honor, there is a classy food eatery in that a CCTV segment of exactly 18 minutes from 10:18 to 10:36 was missing. Why we are putting this? Because before 10:18 there is nothing suspicious. Then 18-minute gap is there. After that, suddenly the victim is shown in a pool of blood lying in a semi-conscious state. So we can very well conclude here that the crime scene happened between that missing gap only. For that, after Your Honor, the coincidence is this, that the accused has a dash cam in his vehicle. For that, in that dash cam also, Your Honor, the same timing, the same footage is missing for the same amount of
Objection,
time.
Your Lordship. Can I?
Yes.
The counsel is making submissions on the documents which are not yet exhibited.
He is just giving an opening statement. So we are permitting him to give opening statement. Thereafter,
Yes, I will
he
exhibit.
will lead the evidence for that. So let him give an opening statement first.
Yes.
I will exhibit certainly, Your Honor.
Let him give an opening statement. Then he will prove this.
Very, very Lordship.
May I proceed?
Yeah, you.
Please.
So there is an 18 segment missing in the classified as well as the dash cam of the accused. This is not some coincidence but rather creates a strong suspicion against the accused. Further, Your Honor, there are prior communication done by the accused on 11th April through WhatsApp exchanges, email exchanges, multiple calls were made by the accused to the victim. This showing expressing of the grievance. Further, Your Honor, dying declaration was given by the victim saying two words, pressure and documents. In the we can very well see in the annexure CCTV, if they are allowed, Your Honors may allow me. The CCTV, we can show the CCTV footage right now or regarding the closing arguments.
Your choice.
So I just
You
the
have
annexure
less than
somewhere.
30 seconds left. So use
So
your
I just move
opening
it to the
statement wisely.
Your Honor, also one more thing happened, that is accused had a midway car accident with another unidentified individual, which is marked in the annexure 16 and also been said in the supplementary charge sheet filed by the police. For all this document taken corroboratively, the prosecution concludes that Prosecution, police officers are concluded and file a charge sheet under section 2 sections. One is 103, which is the punishment for murder, and secondly just a 1 minute extension, 30 seconds extension. If you want 1 minute left,
Thanks, sir.
if your honors may allow. So the charge sheet was filed under section 103, punishment for murder, and secondly 238 of the BNS, causing disappearance of evidences. To prove all this, your honor, first of all, one more submission I have to make to the honorable bench regarding the maps and the one of the theory that the prosecution has made regarding. I would like to submit in the opening statement if the bench may allow me to do so. The theory and the GPS maps regarding the location where the accused was.
Give a copy to the other side.
Yes, for sure. This is the map that we have made, and these are the GPS images to corroborate this map.
Your Lordship, if I can take objection, or do you want me to take
You may
objection?
reserve your objection and address it as part of your opening statement.
Okay.
You can just conclude in 10 seconds.
Your Honor, further, no murder weapon was found, and there are no eyewitnesses in this case. And to prove and all these things, Your Honor, prosecution will bring 2 witnesses, namely PW1 and then the Mehta and PW2, Constable Hemant Patel. If Your Honor does not have any further question, we would like to proceed with the commencement.
So this documents which you have provided right now across the bar, you are going to prove this document?
Yes, Your Honor, in the closing arguments, because we have to
You will
produce
have
it
to
at the
prove
start.
this document.
Yes, we will very well prove it.
Yes.
We will corroborate it with the facts given in the mock problem and all these things. We will corroborate all these facts. Much obliged, Your Honor.
The council seeks court's permission to approach the dais. The council seeks court's permission to address the bench collectively as your lordship. The council seeks court's permission to begin with their opening statement. Very well. Your lordship, I am Speaker 2, appearing before this court in the case of State of Gujarat versus Ravi Shekhar as the defense counsel number 2. Your lordship, it is the prosecution's case that Mr. Ravi Shekhar, who is the accused in the present case, has murdered Miss Neha Chopra and Your lordship, the accused, that is Mr. Ravi Shekhar, has been charged under section 103, that is the punishment for the murder, and section 238 of the BNS, which states that the tampering with the evidence or giving false information during the investigation. Your lordship, the committal order has been passed and my client has pleaded not guilty for the same. Today, the stage for the trial is the examination in chief and the cross-examination and subsequently the final arguments. Today, from the side of defense, this court will hear from 2 witnesses. DW1, that is Mr. Sunil Raju. He is the automobile service engineer who has inspected Ravi's car and submitted a report for the same. The DW2, that is Mr. Brijpal Singh, he is the security guard at Shantivan Residency. Through his testimony, he will testify before this court that offending vehicle, that is Mr. Ravi Shekhar's car, which is now seized and in custody of the prosecution, was arrived at society premise at 10:45 p.m. Your lordship, I will be examining DW2, that is Mr. Brijpal Singh, and the further cross-examination of the prosecution's witness. My co-counsel will take examination in chief of DW1, that is Mr. Sunil Raju, and the cross-examination. The counsel number 1 will also take the final arguments and the closing statement for the same. Finally, the 3rd member from our team will assume the role of the researcher. Before I conclude my opening statement, I would like to submit a copy of list of witnesses from the side of defense.
Maybe you can also devote 10-15 seconds to explain in your opening statement what are the investigative lapses in the present matter according to you.
Your lordship, can we deal that when we take the cross-examination and the final arguments? Yes. Done. If the court permits, I would like to submit a copy of list of witnesses from the side of defense and list of dates and events for the court's convenience. Your lordship, if the court has no further questions, I would like to conclude my opening statement. What's your vote? The council seeks permission to approach the witness. The prosecution seeks for request for witness number 1, Ms. Ananya Mehta, for chief examination.
How many witnesses you are going to examine?
2 witnesses, Your Honor.
2 witnesses. And who will be that witnesses?
The witness will be 1, Ms. Ananya Mehta, who was the office colleague or let's say junior in the office, and second is the head constable who was first arrived at the crime scene.
So you are not choosing to examine investigating officer.
No, Your Honor. But Your Honor, in furtherance to that, the prosecution will exhibit all the documents and evidences that have been put forth before this honorable bench as exhibits
To whom?
to the honorable bench. Like the list of all the exhibits.
You proceed.
Sure, certainly. The prosecution seeks permission to seek the oath of the witness. I do swear in the name of God
I do swear in the name of God
that what I shall state
that what I shall state
shall be the truth,
shall be the truth,
the whole truth,
the whole truth,
and solely affirm
and solely affirm
nothing but the truth.
nothing but the truth.
Thank you. Please state your name and occupation to the honorable bench.
My name is Ananya Mehta and I have been working as a senior consultant at Infragram Consultants.
Could you please tell me where is your office located?
503 near Mahatma Mandir, Gandhinagar.
Can you tell the court about your role and experience in the organization?
I have been a part of the team that assists the evaluation committee which advises the state on infrastructure and road projects.
Can you please describe what was Ms. Neha Chopra's role in the organization?
She was the head of the evaluation committee and she worked as a senior associate at Infragram.
Can you recall, and according to you, can you say at what time did Ms. Neha Chopra leave the office the day her death occurred?
I don't recall the exact time, but she left around the 82 hours.
And can you recall as to when did you leave the office?
I left a few minutes later after she left.
Can you please state to the honorable bench as to where you do reside?
I live in Godrej Apartments.
Are you aware of where Ms. Neha used to reside?
She used to live in the same premises as me, just in a different flat on a different floor.
Point to be noted, Your Honor, the victim and Ms. Neha and Ms. Ananya, they used to live in the same apartment, just different flats. So are you aware which route did Ms. Neha take regularly?
She took the route from she took the route from SG Highway, and I used to commute with her occasionally, so I'm familiar with that.
And are you certain that Ms. Neha would have followed the same route the day her death occurred?
Yes, she was regular on taking that route, so it's reasonable that she took the same route that day.
Can you state if you were present in the office on 5th April?
Yes, I was there.
Can you please describe what happened at the office?
Mr. Shekhar, he appeared agitated. He barged into the office and started shouting that those who are responsible will not be spared. He's pointed fingers at me and my colleague. His demeanor was very threatening and it looked like he would resort to violence, so the security had to escort him.
And according to the situation that happened, can you please state as the behavior that Ms. Neha Chopra had?
Following this incident, she appeared very disturbed. She carried out her professional responsibilities, but she appeared extremely distressed and disturbed.
Can you recall if you felt threatened by anywhere from this?
He did threaten me at that day and I felt threatened by that, but post that all the threats were directed to my colleague.
Point to be noted, Your Honor, post the office incident, all the threats were directly towards Ms. Neha Chopra. And can you recall whether how many companies had submitted their bid for this project?
Approximately 6 to 7.
And can you recall how many were rejected?
Approximately 5.
Can you recall as to what were the reactions of such companies that were rejected?
There was no violent or such volatile reaction that I could take note of, only Mr. Shekhar's company.
And what can you say about the communications done by the accused to the victim?
Post the rejection of the bid, my colleague started getting multiple calls from the representatives of Mr. Shekhar's company, and sometimes it would include Mr. Shekhar making direct threats to him.
Witness, how can you be so certain that such communications were done from the accused himself and not somebody else?
Because those calls included threats, and other than that, my colleague also appeared very distressed during the days, and her stress levels were at an all time.
That's all, Your Honor. No further question. The counsel requests the court to mark the testimony of PW1 as P1. Much obliged. Permission to cross-examine the witness.
Witness, do you remember the date when the investigating officer recorded your statement?
It happened a few months back, but I don't recall the
I put it to you, your statement does not bear date on which it was recorded.
I don't know.
Referring to paragraph 2 of your witness statement given to the investigating officer, you being part of the technical evaluation committee, could you please explain the court what exactly made the committee reject Ravi's bid?
I was a part of the team assisting the evaluation committee, which was headed by my senior. So I really would provide much information for you. What was the evaluation basis? I can only recall the bid was rejected on the basis of design compliances and safety standards.
Therefore, I put it to you, you do not know anything about the evaluation
No,
committee.
that's not true. I was a part of the team assisting the evaluation committee, and from what I know, I have already told you.
I put it to you, you do not know the reasons for rejection of the bid.
Design compliances and safety standards.
Could you please elaborate if you know that? What exactly safety standards were breached by Ravi's bid?
I've already told the.
You are informing the court.
That's not my role. That was my senior's role.
Therefore,
I cannot provide you a detailed information on what exactly were the standards. I can only provide you the basis on which the bid was rejected.
Correct, Anand. Therefore, you are not able to tell the court that what exactly were the safety
That is
breaches.
still not, because this is out of. I have mentioned in my official statement as well. From what I knew, it was design compliances and safety standards.
You are not in the position to elaborate the design compliances and safety standards.
Because I was not a part of the evaluation team. I was a part of the team. I was a part of the team that assisted the evaluation committee.
What is your role in infrazone?
I work as a senior consultant.
Senior consultant? Should you please elaborate your duties?
I overlooked the operations once in a while. Other than that,
What do you mean by once in a while?
My core work involved assisting the evaluation committee.
How do you assist them?
Research work.
What research? What research did you do for this project? Since you are assisting Neha for this project.
Objection, Your Honor. What is the relevance of what work she did related to the case?
She is associated with the project. Your Lordship, she has to answer it to the court.
Wind up this line of questioning quickly. You have a lot of other things which you can focus on.
Okay, Your Lordship. Coming to the 5th March incident, I put it to you, you were not present in the office on 5th April.
No, that's not.
Referring to paragraph 5 of your witness statement, on and around 5th April, there was a discussion within the office regarding the incident where Ravi Shekhar had come to the office and threatened Neha.
If the matter was public, then obviously there's going to be discussion.
I put it to you, you were not present in the office.
That's
You
not
didn't.
true.
I
I
put
was
it
there
to you,
in
you
the
have no records to show to the court today
I was-
that you were not present in the office.
I was there. It's in the CCTV.
It is in the CCTV. Then why, I put it to you, it is not mentioned in your witness statement that you have personally witnessed the incident.
But I
am
asked
asking questions again.
But I have still
Objection, Your
mentioned
Honor.
the-
Counsel has an objection. The repetitive questions have been asked.
As witness is not answering to the question of the defense witness, we will permit
The
the
CCTV is clearly seen that the victim was here and the colleague, that is
I put it-
Nyaya Mehta, were both in the CCTV. They were present when he threatened the victim. This came
Allow her to just wind up this line of questioning.
I put it to you, you have not mentioned in your witness statement that you were not present in the office. Have you mentioned it?
But I have not said that I was not present there, so it's I still described the incident that happened.
Were you
which is
present
true.
in the office?
Yes, sir.
In the chamber?
Yes, sir.
Now you can proceed. She has confirmed. Now you can proceed to discredit her testimony.
I put it to you
so
that
desire.
you are not, I put it to you, you have no records to show to the court today that you were present in the office on 5th April. Yes or no?
No, I was there. I was there.
Now coming to statement 4, paragraph 4 of your witness statement. I put it to you that you have nothing to show that representatives of Shekhar Zone contacted Infrazone regarding the bid rejection. Do you have any proof to show?
Can you rephrase the question?
According to your statement, representatives of Shekhar Infra had constantly trying to reach your company for with respect to the bid which was rejected. Paragraph 4 of your witness statement states that. Do you have any proof to show that? Any email conversations do you have today before the court?
It was a conversation between my colleague and the representative, and whatever information I got was from my colleague herself.
My question is, do you have any proof? Yes or no? Please don't look at your counsel. Could you be louder?
No.
With respect to the calls, according to your statement, you say that Ravi used to constantly contact Neha. Have you ever witnessed those calls?
I used to hear it on speaker, so the voice felt familiar.
Okay. I put it. Will it be correct to say that Ravi was only trying to understand the reason why his bid was rejected?
No. I think if it was actually that, he would not have barged into the office, and the demeanor he showed was that he'd resort to violence. The situation would not have come to this point that we had to call the security to escort him out.
But then, if you, without prejudice, if you say that if you were present in the office on April 5th, can you elaborate at what time did Ravi Shekhar enter the office? Okay. How long was he in the office?
I don't remember the exact time.
Therefore, I put it to you, you were not present in the office.
How is it relevant? If I don't remember the exact time, I was occupied with the violence that was going
Okay.
on.
Could you remember what Ravi Shekhar was wearing?
He was wearing business combos.
Okay. Color of the shirt?
Objection, Your Honor, relevance.
Irrelevant.
How is it?
He was present. They are saying that. What was the
Color
color and
of
all those
shirt.
things? Is it available in the CCTV? Was it?
I put it to the
Remember
CCTV
the color of the
which, your
Your
lordship,
Honor,
the
it is
CCTV
nearly
which the
11 months
prosecution is
from
relying
the witness
is not
statement to the
exhibited.
And she is doubting the presence of the witness in the office. She has all right to ask about what kind of shirt or color of the shirt or trousers.
Please answer the question. Color of the shirt.
I don't remember, Your Lordship. I was
Okay.
already used to the situation. So.
Assuming he was in office, you were present there, and he was in the cabin for 5 minutes. What did you hear saying here?
All those who are responsible shall regret.
Was he saying this for 5-10 minutes?
Not 5-10 minutes. He was shouting.
Okay, what he was shouting?
See, the only clear sentence that I could hear was this. Other than that, he was shouting. He was putting.
Therefore, you are not clear about the incidents of April 5th.
How am I not clear? I am telling you
You are
that
not
he-
okay. In your chief examination, you informed the court that Ravi also threatened you. Is it correct?
Yeah, he pointed fingers at me.
I put it to you, you have not made complaint to any authority about such threatening comments.
At that moment, the matter was resolved. He was escorted out. Further to that, there were no threats made to me, so I didn't have any obligation to file a complaint. All of the threats were later directed to my colleague.
Okay. Okay. Did Neha ever file any complaint to the police authorities?
Not that I know.
That's all your.
Nobody
We are allowed. The counsel is permission to chief examine PW2 Constable Hemant Patel. Prosecution seeks permission to state the oath to the witness. Much obliged. I do swear in the name of God
I do swear in the name of God
that what I shall state
what I shall state
shall be the truth,
shall be the truth,
the whole truth,
the whole truth,
and solemnly affirm
solemnly affirm
nothing but the truth.
nothing but the truth.
Please introduce yourself to the court.
I am Hemant Patel, a constable at Shula Police Station.
What duty were you performing on the night of 11th April?
That day I was in PCR van at time when I get up information about some incident happened in the highway SR.
How did you receive information regarding the incident at that night?
Through a police control room, I get information about this.
When did you reach there?
Approx 10:45.
At the crime scene, I'm saying.
And crime scene approx 10:49.
For the record, he is saying that the information that he got was at 10:45 from the PCR and he reached there at approximately 10:49 p.m. What did you observe there when you reached the crime scene?
There was still live, is conscious a little bit, and blood of pool was there in behind the head of the Nyaya, and some documents were found.
What steps did you take after reaching the crime scene to secure the crime scene?
I with my through one another head constable, so that time he was there for securing the crime scene. I went to the hospital.
What did you hear from the injured woman at the spot?
Because the woman injured, she is not able to speak well, because I only heard about the pressure and everything.
Point to be noted, Your Honor. The victim said, as per the statement, the victim said as a dying declaration, 2 words, pressure and documents. The constable heard them. What observation did you make regarding the conditions of the spot?
First of the woman was there and iPhone, and plus there was no weapon found for them.
What did you observe about the presence of persons at the spot?
There only auto rickshaw driver was there that time to inform about the situation to the police control.
What steps did you take considering the condition of the woman?
First of all, I record about all the influx app through, and after that I rushed for the hospital in PCR van.
For the record, he is saying that he recorded the whole crime scene through e-Sakshi app, which is written in the Gujarat Police Manual. He is following the rules, and after that he took the victim to the hospital. Your Honor, for your just to confirm all this, we would like to show the CCTV recording that he has taken from his police body cam as per annexure number 14. We would like to show the bench that recording. If it pleases on, can I come there with the bench?
It can be played, don't worry. Okay.
You know, there are 2 footages regarding the classic goods and then the police body cam footage comes up. So I guess it is the classic goods CCTV, the intel. e-saksha that I just said, court also please give it to the bench with the permission of the bench. The e-saksha record in the Gujarat Police Manual. At the end, it is shown that whatever recording the police officer does, he has to do through e-saksha application, so that there is no tampering of evidences. Otherwise, if you do through camera, there is a possibility. Here, he cannot do any tampering. That is why. Shall I proceed?
Is there any corresponding provision in the law?
In the corresponding provision in the law, that all the CCTV recordings or whatever you do has to be attached to the certificate, 63 BSS, section 60 certificate in the PSA. And the mock trial organizers have now said that all the video recordings are attached with section 63 certificate. So it is as per the law and as per the Gujarat Police Manual rules. Shall I proceed? What happened after you reached the hospital?
I reached the hospital at, in emergency. I went to emergency for emergency, and emergency doctor took over all the condition. Went for emergency procedure at 11:21 approx. And doctor declared that.
Doctor declared dead. What happened after the death? Whom did you communicate, like the death?
I informed my SHO sir about this condition about that she is dead.
And what objects did you saw at the crime scene? All the evidences.
Purse of the lady, iPhone, and shoe of the lady, and there's no crime weapon of the.
What to be noted, no murder weapon was found from the crime scene when he was the first person to reach them. That's all from the side of the defense, Your Honor. You may go. The counsel requests the court to mark the testimony of PW2 as Exhibit P2. The counsel further requests the court, since the IO is not present here, to mark all those documents as I will state all those documents for the exhibiting. It is sole discretion of the court to exhibit it or not. But I will further request the court to annexure 1 FIR as exhibit.
Objection, Your Lordship.
What is your?
These documents are prepared by the investigating officer. He has to be present before the court to testify this. Marking and exhibiting a document by the person who has not even prepared it and looked at it should not be permissible.
Can I answer?
So why, under what circumstances you are requesting the court to exhibit this document?
Because, Your Honor, if we don't exhibit these documents, we cannot rely on these documents in our closing arguments, since the court has not accepted these documents as the evidences. If the court exhibit, that means the court has accepted those documents as evidences. Since the IO, it is the rule of the organizer that you can choose 2 witnesses. We have chosen PW1 and PW2. So we got the discretion to choose who. So since we have not chosen him, we can very well submit an application, but they are not allowed to do so. Otherwise, if that's discretion of the judge, we can even move an application for them. Since IO is not present here.
The clarification note is there in the problem. The clarification note says something about it. If you have gone through the clarification note?
Yes, Your Honor.
The clarification note says question number 4.
One argument I would like to make regarding this, that it is an example, and it does happens in the real courts also. What if the IO, he has done the investigation officer who has done the whole investigation. After that, before coming to the court, he has been transferred to any other state or state itself. Then is it possible that the IO from that state will be called upon to mark the exhibit? But the prosecution can. In those cases, prosecution can very well submit an application to the court. Since he is not present, please mark those exhibit annexures he has collected from the investigation as exhibits. And it is permitted by the court. Since he cannot come here, he is out of the state, and this very well happens in real life also. That is my contention to the
Your
the
Lordship.
honorable bench.
If I may, Your Lordship, in a case where the investigation officer is not in a position to come to the court, then the another investigation
Do any of the sides have any decision in support of their respective arguments on this point right now, immediately available?
Right now,
Because you would have anticipated such an objection from the defense when you decided to not examine the IO. So the question is, do you have any material, any
right now,
judicial
records we
pronouncement?
don't have right now.
But how do you see that if you are permitted to place this document, and even if they are exhibited, if they are not proved, then how to appreciate those documents?
Your Honor, it is the sole
Marking of exhibit will not prove the document.
No, Your Honor, it is the procedure of the court that exhibiting is done by the sole discretion of the judge, Your Honor.
Have a seat.
So when I say that please before that is annexure, after that it becomes exhibit. So I place it to the bench that this annexure please mark as an exhibit. If the bench thinks, the court thinks that it is relevant to this present case, then it will be marked as exhibit. And if it is marked as exhibit, then it will be presumed that it is relevant to the court and it is truth and for sure it is not falsified. This is my contention, Your Honor. Shall I proceed with the exhibiting? Much obliged, Your Honor, for that. Annexure 1 FIR as exhibit P3, Annexure 2 spot map as exhibit P4, Annexure 3 inquest report as exhibit P5, Annexure 4 property seizure memo 1 as exhibit P6, Annexure 5 property seizure memo 2 as exhibit P7, Annexure 7 postmortem report as exhibit P8, Annexure 8 chart sheet as exhibit P9, Annexure 12 article seized as exhibit P10, Annexure 13 workplace CCTV as exhibit P12, Annexure 14 class A CCTV and the police body cam both included in one and only one, exhibit P13. After that, Annexure 15 toll plaza CCTV as exhibit P14, Annexure 16 as car action CCTV as exhibit P15, and lastly the supplementary charge sheet as exhibit P16. That's all from the side of the prosecution.
the counsel seeks court's permission to take the cross-examination of PW.
See, keep in mind that certain documents are sought to be exhibited to this witness who you are about to cross-examine, for which you have raised certain objection. Now in your cross-examination, you have an opportunity to bring out a situation where
Yes.
the evidentiary value of those documents or videos, insofar as the present witness is concerned, can be brought into a question of a zone of doubt.
Yes,
You
Your
proceed.
Mr. Patel, where are you presently posted? I repeat, where are you presently posted?
Shola police station,
Okay. And what is your designation?
head constable.
Okay. Who informed you about the incident that happened on 11th April?
Through a police control room, I get information.
And at
about
what time you reached?
10:40, approx 10:40.
Who all were the people who accompanied you to the crime spot?
Another my co-partner driver with me, that
Can you tell the name of that person to the court?
Ajit Kumar.
Okay. Is it correct to state that upon reaching the crime spot, you never secured that crime spot?
I secured the crime spot. Me and my co-partner at that time, I went to the hospital and he was there to secure
Now,
the
what steps did you take to secure the crime spot?
He was there, I informed my SHO about the situation, and another team is on the way in 5 minutes. All the team and forensic team was going to
You
come.
just stated you secured the crime spot. So what steps
Objection.
you
He
personally...
stated that me and my partner secured the crime scene.
Yeah.
He never said that I secured the
I
crime
just
scene.
for the hospital.
Okay, so is it correct to state that when you left the crime scene, the crime scene was secured properly?
Yes.
Your Lordship, with the court's permission, I would like to show this a news report which is exhibited, or which name is the new records. It is the general news report published on the national television. Please show it.
It's part of the document.
It is not part of the document, but it was given as a part of material during the trial.
Yes.
Hello. Hello. Hi, Mr. The very good side. हाँ मिस्टर साहब आप देख रही हैं वी आर गुड टू गो
The students that take a lot of effort.
Your Lordship, please focus on the crime spot.
हम यहाँ पे NFSU की तरफ से आए हैं आप लोग को सबसे पहली सच्ची खबर देने शुक्रिया कैमरामैन डेविड के साथ रजब
Go witness.
Could you please show it to the witness also? Just a beginning.
अगर आपने देखा हुआ है देख लीजिए चलिए.
Where do you want me to show him from the beginning?
Just a beginning. After she reached the crime spot.
हाँ मिस्टर साहब आप देख रही हैं वी आर गुड टू गो
Just stop. As you just stated, the crime scene was secured. What is recorded in the CCTV footage, it clearly shows that the crime scene was not secured. I put it to you that you were making false statement.
No. There was only one head office security.
My question is point blank. The
No,
answer should
there
be
was a-
yes or no manner.
Crime is secured that time. I am stating that.
Your Lordship, please note the point. The witness, which is the constable, he is making the false statement before the court.
Objection,
No,
Your Honor.
it-
If you
it
allow
has
me
come-
to say regarding this, what really happened. As he stated in my chief also, that the moment he reached, he take a body cam. First of all, he saw that within a minute he took a body cam proceeding. And as he stated in the witness statement to the police also, he took the PCR van and went to the hospital to take the victim.
Your
So only
Lordship,
constable left was that guard, the security guard. So how could he know that the crime scene was secured or not? At first. Secondly, the news report.
So
yes.
you are admitting that crime.
No, we are not admitting that. Secondly, if she wants to ask, the defense wants to ask, then they should ask the other constable, which is not provided by the organizer. Thirdly,
Allow learned counsel to develop. Learned.
And last and
just
thirdly, Your Honor.
indicate.
Your Lordship,
the
even in
annexure is
that
not
case,
marked.
You
as
just reserve this in your closing statement.
Your Lordship, even in that case, as it is already clearly shown in that news report.
Counsel, for how much long time you expect the police to secure the crime scene? Up to what time crime scene has to be secured? Till the end of the trial?
Your Lordship, that news report was taken immediately on that day. That is on the 11th April when the crime happened. It is already shown that general public is approaching the crime spot. It shows the potential tamperment with. It can be the evidences which were collected by the IO can be tampered.
No, you can proceed with further process.
Please state the name of the investigation officer in the present case.
Power.
I put it to you that you have not registered the FIR.
I understood all the work
Yes,
performed
sir.
by the. No.
I put it to you, you do not know the contents of the FIR.
writing the inquest report, that time was.
My question was, I put it to you that you were not present when the inquest report was made.
No, that time.
I put it to you, you do not know the contents of the inquest report.
But I know about.
Yes or no?
Little bit I know about
I put it to you that your signature is not there on the inquest report.
that. No.
I put it to you that you were not present when the property season memo number 1 was prepared. I put it to you that your signature is not there on the property season memo.
I'm not clear.
I put it to you, you do not know the contents of the same.
I know about that, but because I'm first person I reached there about me. So I read a bit about the situation and I made about my judgment was there.
My question was in a yes or no manner. I put it to you that your signature and you do not know the contents of the property season memo number 1. I put it to you that you did not collected the post-mortem report. I put it to you that you are not the person who has filed the charge sheet.
No.
I put it to you that you do not know the contents of the charge sheet. I put it to you that your signature is not there on the charge sheet. I put it to you that during the investigation, you have not collected any CCTV footage.
No, I don't.
I put it to you, you do not know the contents of the CCTV footage. I put it to you that you have not collected this, you have not prepared the supplementary charge sheet.
No.
I put it to you that your signature is not there on the supplementary charge sheet. I put it to you that you do not know the contents of the same.
Repeat question.
I put it to you, you do not know the contents of the supplementary charge sheet.
No. But
I put it to you, you are not the investigating officer in the present case. That's all, Your Lordship. No further question. I put it to you, you do not know any contents of the documents that were exhibited by the prosecution.
I know the whole.
My question is in yes or no manner.
Little bit I know about that.
But you just stated you do not know the contents of any of the documents.
I know the scene when I collect because I am one person dying.
You just stated you do not know the contents of any of the documents.
What they put in
Judge,
the.
Your Honor, is misleading the witness by asking a different question that he is not supposed to answer. She is asking that all documents, but he is asking a little bit. By little bit, he means the CCTV that he.
In cross-examination, latitude is given. In examination, in chief, it is not. But honorable presiding judge will take a decision. You may. So, point is very clear.
Your Lordship, nothing further for the witness. If the court has the permission, we would like to begin with the chief examination from the side of defense. Your Lordship, with the court's permission, I would like to call DW2, that is Mr. Brijpal Singh.
Now you will have the same latitude. Exercises.
With the court's permission, I would like to administer the oath.
Yes.
Witness, please repeat after me.
I, Brijpal Singh,
solemnly affirm that
solemnly affirm that
what I shall state today
what I shall state today
shall be the truth,
shall be the truth,
the whole truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
Please state your age, occupation, and nationality for the record.
I am
Please
54.
address the bench.
I am 54-year-old, and I am a security guard at a Shantivan residency, and I belong to this country, India.
For how many years you are working as a security guard at Shantivan Residency?
I am working there for past 5 years.
Okay. And what are your day-to-day responsibilities?
I maintain the entry and exits of the vehicle and maintain the security of that residency.
What are your duty hours?
I worked there from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m.
What were your duty on the date of 11th April 2025? Duty hours.
On that day, I was at a night shift from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m.
Okay. Now, how do you know Mr. Ravi Shekhar?
He is a resident of that residency.
Usually at what time Mr. Ravi Shekhar returns home?
He used to return when I do on the duty. He comes by around 10:30 to 11 approximately.
Why are you present in the court today?
I was being informed by the IO regarding the events of 11th April 2025, and therefore I was called to be present over here.
What happened on 11th April 2025?
On the night of 11th April, at around 10:45 p.m., the XUV 700 of Mr. Ravi Shekhar entered the residency where I was present at the main gate.
And who was driving that car?
I didn't saw the person who was driving the vehicle. I just saw the vehicle entering into the gate.
Why were you not able to see who was driving the car?
Due to inappropriate lighting condition and the tinted windows, I was unable to see who was driving the vehicle.
Okay. Did you observe anything suspicious regarding vehicle that night?
No. No.
Okay. Did you observe anything suspicious in general that night?
No.
Is there anything else that you would like to add?
No. Nothing.
Your Lordship, the chief examination has been done. The witness is open for cross-examination.
Counsel permission to cross-examine the witness. Much obliged. Is it true that your duty is only at the main gate of the society?
Yes.
Is it true that you are required to record entries of the vehicles in a register?
Entries as well as the exits. Yes.
In a register.
In the register.
Is it true that you are not bring the register before this court today?
Yes. I didn't brought any register over here today.
You didn't bring any register.
Yes.
Then, as per your chief examination, you are stating at 10:45 you made an entry in the register, right?
Yes.
Then how can you prove or how can we even assume that the entry that you made was 10:45 and not prior or after that?
I made the
You have
entry.
any proof to show that?
I made the entry and I had also informed it to the IO in front of whom I had given the statement.
IO has never said anything in his charge sheet or anywhere else that you have informed the IO. See, witness, you very well know that giving a false statement in the court is not permitted and you will very well go to jail for 7 years under section 229
Your Lordship,
of the
he is the
BNS.
badgering.
No, I'm not badgering, I'm just telling him.
Witness is aware about it. He had taken the oath, so he will speak truth only.
Because Your Honor, as the said, IO wouldn't make such a grave mistake of not mentioning in the charge sheet, but you are saying that you have said to the IO.
Yes, I had
So,
informed.
say the truth to the court. Not a
Gentlemen,
false.
आगे बढ़िए आप सवाल पूछिए
Sure. Is it true that for regular residents, you do not always make detailed entries?
I make detailed entries, but I don't go and check every vehicle.
So for unknown residents, you go and check all the vehicles?
Yes.
You go and check all the vehicles?
Yes.
Who's
For the
inside
unknown
it
vehicles,
and all those
but
things?
not the regular resident vehicles.
Okay, let's take about the unknown vehicles. So you will go there, who is inside him, you will come in out and all those things you will check. What is in the garage and I mean the back portion of the car, you will check everything.
I'll just make the entry in the register and fill all the details as per the register's columns.
What details do you fill in the register?
Name, entry time, vehicle number, and exit time when the vehicle will leave.
Can you state the registration number of the accused car?
It's GJ01 XU 4567.
You are sharp. And where do you know exactly where does he live in the society, the accused?
Yes. He lives in A24 of that residency.
Very well. And what is the name of the residency that you work in?
Shantivan residence.
Where is it located?
At SG Highway.
SG Highway where?
Thaltej.
SG is a very vast area.
Thaltej.
Thaltej. In
Ahmedabad.
Thaltej which area? Since you are a resident, you are a security guard. So very well knowing Thaltej. Because Thaltej is also a wide area. Tell me where in the Thaltej?
Actually, I live in Chandoria, So I'm not.
Chandoria where?
Chandoria 13/2 streets.
13 by 2 what? Society name?
Streets.
Streets? You live in streets, right?
Yeah, the slums area.
Slum area.
You are digressing from the point. Ask
Very well.
questions regarding the.
Is it true that the accused had tinted glass vehicles, tinted window glasses? Is it true that because of those tinted glasses you are not able to see the driver clearly?
I didn't
Your
saw who
lordship
was the
asked and
person who
answered.
driving.
She can very well object, as you said earlier. I have the latitude to do so. Now she cannot, because otherwise in my, she
He's
was objecting again and again and
witness,
again.
so he can put the questions.
Very well, Your Lordship.
On what basis did you identify the vehicle was of accused only and not of someone else?
From the registered number, and the vehicle was very well known to me.
Okay. As you have said, you very well know the resident number of the accused and the registration number of the accused by heart, right? So tell me another person's name that live in the society that you very well know.
I also remember there is Himanshu Bhatia and Devesh Jha,
What is
also
their
few of the
registration
residents' number.
Do you remember that? Since you remember
Yes.
very well by the accused.
I only remember the number plates of the persons who
Objection,
enters
relevance.
after 8.
Checking the memory of the witness.
Because he has a sharp memory, Your Honor. After 11 months,
We
he
are
is very-
permitting.
I only remember the vehicles which enters after 8 p.m. as I am not in the duty of morning shift.
Then tell me another person that enters after 8 p.m. and you remember their number.
There were few people.
Speak it quickly because it is you can very well see that you are making up in your mind.
You are asking me to think about please. Dhanraj Dham Desani, they used to enter around 1 and their vehicle number is GJ01 ZU and 3621.
Forget about that. You have made up in your mind. Is it true that
You
there
can
are
say anything, you have to accept. You are
yes, of
asking.
course we have to, Your Honor. Because otherwise I don't have any proof to check it out that whether it's true or not.
So we are convinced that witness is having some
Yes,
paper.
sound. Even I am convinced about that. Is it true that you did not stop the accused vehicle for inspection that day? Are there any other gates in the society?
No.
Are there any other security guards in the society?
There is one security guard for a morning shift and I am for a night shift.
And what is the timing of your shift then?
I am from 8 p.m. to 8 am and vice versa for him.
Is there a possibility that when the accused car entered on that day, you were sleeping?
No.
Are there any CCTVs at the gate of the society?
There is only one CCTV footage, CCTV camera near the cabin of mine where I used to sit.
Is it true that as per your statement, you cannot clearly say, I'm asking you again, you cannot clearly say who was inside the vehicle
Yes, I didn't saw the person
because
who was
of
driving the
tinted
vehicle.
glasses? That's all from Mr. Abhudyaya.
Permission to Chief Examine Sunil Raju. Please repeat after me. I,
I,
your name,
Sunil Raju,
do solemnly affirm that
do solemnly affirm that
what I shall state today
what I shall state today
shall be the truth,
shall be the truth,
the whole truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
Please inform the court your age, nationality, and occupation for record.
I am 43 years old. I am Indian by nationality, and I am an automobile engineer by profession.
Could you please inform the court what happened on April 15?
On April 15th, Hemant Patel, the constable, got a XUV 700 car to me for inspection.
What was the observation of the inspection you conducted?
I concluded that there was no high impact collision marks on the car.
Did you find anything suspicious in the on the inspection?
No.
That's all, Your Lordship. The witness is open for cross-examination.
The counsel seeks permission to cross-examination witness. Did you know that the car was involved in a crime scene?
No.
Do you know the accused?
No.
You would agree that an inspection report should be supported by evidence.
Yes.
And therefore your report must contain measurements, photos and test results.
Yes.
Can you please submit the report?
I did so to the IO.
You did to the?
I did so to the IO.
You showed to the IO.
Yes.
You did not submit to the IO. Why?
I did so.
Why
He is
did
saying he submitted it to the IO.
I submitted it to
you
the
submitted to the IO?
Yes.
Therefore, the inspection principles that you follow is the same for all SUVs.
Mostly, yes. Depends from examination to examination.
Therefore, standard procedures like internal checks and measurements must also apply here.
No.
You said then in other cars that you examine also you don't do internal checks.
Depends from examination to examination.
Okay. So when inspecting a frontal bumper that is there, what is the one thing that you examine?
I examine whether there are dents, different kinds of dents, whether there are cracks on it. I examine the material of what it is consisted of, and yeah, that's all.
Okay. Can you please tell me what is a crash bar?
I'm not aware.
You're not aware.
Yes.
You check the bumper.
Yes.
Point to be noted, Your Honor, he's an 18-year experienced automobile service engineer. You don't know what a crash bar is. That is behind the bumper. If it may explain to the Honorable Bench, a crash bar is when a collision occurs, it leads to the opening of an airbag. So, how do you not know what a crash bar is? Okay, no worries.
Yes.
So, can you please tell me that with your 18 years of experience, you would not give an opinion in an inspection? If you, okay, tell me firstly, since police inspector came to you, did you think that it was related to a crime scene?
Pardon me, it was the constable, but I did presume it could have been due to a crime scene, but I did not conclusively hold it so.
Okay. So, you gave an opinion without thorough inspection?
I was asked to examine the car for any sort of high impact collisions, and I did so. And I gave my opinion with regards to the same,
Okay.
as I was asked.
Okay. So, despite your experience, you might sometimes give opinion without full inspection.
No.
Right now, Your Honor, is
My inspection.
But right now he stated that he was asked to do so, he that much said. So the counsel is simply putting forth that in some cases, you might give opinions without full inspection.
With regards to this examination,
Witness
my inspection
yes or
was.
no? Witness yes or no?
No.
Now allow him to explain, and then you build on his explanation. Please explain.
With regards to this examination for high impact collisions, I was asked to only examine for the same, and my examination was conclusive. Whatever was required, I have done.
So what was the conclusion of your examination? You have the liberty to answer and justify.
Yes, the car was not included in any high impact collision.
Okay. Point to be noted, that means that the victim was not hit by a high impact collision, and therefore some other weapon or something of the other source was used to hit the victim. Furthermore, for inspection, even of the outer part, you might have used some tools or measurements.
Yes.
Can you please state which tools you used?
I used a meter tape to check the dimensions of the bumper, whether the parts were changed, whether they were replaced, whether they were of the same dimension as the original car. I checked the chassis to check whether the chassis was changed or not. That's all, and I did a visual examination.
Okay. Can you please tell me what a hydraulic jack is?
A hydraulic jack is a jack which is inserted below the car and is utilized to lift the car up.
Okay. The windshield can have small cracks and stress points that are not visible to the naked eye. Is it true?
Yes.
Yeah. So, did you examine the windshield?
No.
Why?
I did not.
That is a part of the external part, Your Honor. The basic glass of the car that is used to check if there has been any high impact collision, the basic windshield has not even been inspected. So, what, you did not inspect the windshield?
I did not inspect it because there was no sign apparent of a tear or a break in the windshield, and I did not deem it important to check whether there were minor cracks on it.
Okay, witness, but right now I said there can
be small cracks that are not visible to the naked eye. So merely on the basis of seeing only you saw that okay, there is no cracks in this air. But
No major cracks.
Point to be noted, Your Honor, he himself said that the naked eye cannot see the small cracks on the glass, and then he certain that I did not inspect because I saw it and I felt it was not necessary.
But minor cracks could also
No
come in the
minor
course
cracks.
of normal use.
Okay. Can you please tell me which part of the card you checked for alignments?
Alignments, the handle wheel,
The handle wheel and
And-
among the
and
parts that
the
you
axle.
have clearly stated in your statement.
yes.
Can you please tell me from those parts which part includes the checking of alignments and hinges and everything?
I think it would be the axle which connects the handle wheel.
But you've never stated that you inspected the wheels in your statement.
No, I have not.
Then how did you use this tool to inspect the vehicle?
I did not deem it important to include every single minute detail in my statement. I conclusively gave the conclusion.
Okay, can you please tell me as to inspecting a grill, as you stated in a statement, what components would you inspect in a grill? Or you just looked from the outside and told, okay, this is fine, done.
I checked the measurements of the grill, whether it was replaced or not.
Okay, then where are the measurements? Can you state the measurements somewhat approximately?
It has been a while, I don't remember.
Okay. Can you state the measurements of the last vehicle that you checked just for the reference of the court?
I don't remember.
Can you give an example of the measurements that could be relevant for the car? You are an 18-year-old experience, you are simply asked to give an approximation of measurements. With that experience, you can give an approximation that the grill can be this much, that can be that much. Give an approximately of the measurements, not exact measurements if council is asking.
It could be 1.5 meters by 0.25.
Your Honor, the council was firstly establishing the credibility of the witnesses and his experience. Further, it seeks to establish further 2 points, that is, firstly, the modern vehicle technology, and secondly, the battery failure, which shall be used for the closing statement. This is for the corroboration or contradiction of the witness. In modern vehicles, like you said in XUV 700, there is a system known as electronic control unit. Can you please tell me what is it about?
Those are microcontrollers utilized to check different sorts of physical data. It could be the speed of the vehicle, it could be the fuel gauge, it could be the radiator, how heated the radiator is, what amount of water is in the radiator, etc. etc.
Okay. Can you please tell me what a radiator is?
A radiator is that part which radiates heat so that internal of the vehicle could
Point to be
be
noted,
on a
Your
lower
Honor,
temperature.
in furtherance of his statement, an ECU, that is electronic control unit, helps in examining the engine runtime, the speed patterns, ignition cycles and the fault logs. It must be noted in the statement it is written that on accused request such inspection was done, and also if the ECU had been inspected of the SUV, we could have known at what time the ignition of, that is the engine, was on, what time it was off, what were the speed patterns. That would have helped us understand what the crime scene was and how did the accused choose a different route, or he was in the same route as the vicinity of the crime. The prosecution shall further explain and corroborate in the upcoming statements.
No, from whose request vehicle was examined, you just said?
Accused request. It was the accused reference of Mr. Him that the vehicle was examined. That is why the prosecution was checking the credibility and experience of the engine. Okay. Can you please tell me what an alternator is?
I'm not aware.
Okay. Can you please tell me what a battery is?
Yes, a battery is a device which stores passive electricity, a potential electricity, and which could be converted into active electricity, alternating current for the purpose of, or DC, which could be utilized
Point
in
to
a
be
car.
noted, Your Honor, an alternator is the one that converts mechanical energy to electrical energy and then provides power to the
You
battery.
said alternative current, AC/DC, is that
Yes.
correct?
Objection. Your Lordship, what are the relevance of this question?
The
He has
pros-
already demonstrated that he has sufficient knowledge. How is it related to the
Your
accused
Honor-
of the crime scene?
No, it is not absolutely irrelevant. Let her develop the case. We
Your Honor,
cannot curtail cross-examination.
Your Honor, the counsel has stated to be kept in the mind of Your Honor that since it will be used to corroborate the evidences when the prosecution puts pointers and arguments in front of the bench as the witness. So, Your Honor, just to clarify and understand that when the engine runs, okay, the alternator, it supplies power to the particular battery. So, in cases when the battery fails in the car, Your Honor, if you may look at page number 3, paragraph point number G of the fact sheet, it can be seen that the victim's car had a battery failure. So in that particular case, the prosecution is trying to establish with the help of the engineer as to how the car was still running when the battery was already failed. So the answer to that the prosecution wanted to establish was that through an alternator that continues to provide supply to the battery, once even if the car starts and there is battery failure, the car can run for at least a particular point of time.
That we understood, but
Yes.
it has no relevance for the reason that defense had not taken any such ground.
Understood. But it was, since the closing statements of defense are post the prosecution, therefore the prosecution,
Understood.
yes, much obliged. Therefore, Your Honor, no further questions.
Your Lordship, before we begin with the closing statement, since the chief examination and the cross-examination of the PW1 has been done, I would like to make only one submission. May I?
That you can make it at the time of final submission.
But the testimony is very fresh, so I would like to make only one submission.
Which you can make.
Your Lordship, the prosecution counsel was emphasizing on a point that the car for the inspection was sent on the request of the accused. Your Lordship, accused made only a request at the time when the car was seized. It was the discretion of the IO to whom the car was submitted for the inspection. That's all, Your Lordship. Obliged.
Your Honor, is the prosecution allowed to counter the objection raised by the defense?
As such not required, but you can do so.
Your Honor, the prosecution would like to cite Sushil Kumar case, that is.
आप अपने closing arguments में cover करिए
Certainly.
Prosecution may proceed with their closing statements.
Your Honor, the prosecution seeks permission to deliver the closing arguments under section 257 of DNSS. Your Honor, the prosecution here has tried to establish elements of section 101C of murder wherein the accused has caused or committed the death of Ms. Neha Chopra. The prosecution will establish the mens rea and the actus reus along with the medical evidences. Your Honor, there are citing Virsa Singh versus State of Punjab, if Your Honor may refer to compendium case number 2, page number 5. The essentials that have been laid down by the Honorable Court are that firstly, a bodily injury must exist. Secondly, the death must occur because of such injury. Thirdly, there must be an intention to cause injury. Your Honor, if you may refer to page number 2, paragraph number 2 of the fact sheet.
Objection, Your Lordship.
They are not served with the copies of the judgment. That is the
We are not
compendium.
supposed to be submitted. We
The
are
compendium.
supposed to submit to the bench. It is the rule of the law.
But
But in reality, we have to. And please give to the judge.
Have you cited this decision in your memorandum?
Yes.
You can supply the copy to the judge. You are not having it ready.
Parties exchange as a matter of courtesy in future. Remember that you will be required to give.
Certainly, Your Honor, and our memo has been given to us.
In the memo also we have mentioned this case.
Very good. Let your colleague.
Your Honor, the counsel will try to establish the mens rea in this particular case of the accused. Firstly, Your Honor, the intention present here is not just ordinary, but it is merely survival. As I stated, if you may refer to page number 2, paragraph number 2 of the fact sheet, it is stated that the accused company was in a much of a financial distress. It is stated that this project was very much important to avoid any collapses and proceedings. When the bid was rejected under the supervision of the deceased, the issue became personal rather than professional. Referring to the same paragraph, the accused did not accept that the rejection, he reacted to it. As corroborated by the witness statements, it could be seen he went to the office, threatened everyone, and later he directly had communication with the victim, Ms. Neha Chopra. On the day of the incident also, the hostility was still active and continued. If we may refer to page number 4, paragraph number 9 of the fact sheet, it is written that email exchanges, 4 unanswered call at 6 p.m. and later a message at 6:30 p.m. This is not done, this is not right. Show that the accused was persistently pursuing the deceased and not letting the matter rest. As a matter of fact, Your Honor, the accused here is a very 42-year-old established businessman, anybody is expected to have such professionalism of not to do continuous email exchanges for unanswered call, and lastly WhatsApp message of this is not done, this is not right. This is far beyond professionalism, Your Honor. Further, the prosecution humbly submits that the motive is, the intention here is matched with opportunity. The toll record, that is only 2 minutes of gap, Your Honor. The same time the CCTV footage of the eatery also missing, the dash cam camera has been tempered, that meta altered data, timestamps have been altered. And further, the prosecution seeks to establish that there has been alibi in this particular scene. Your Honor, if you may refer to the map that has been provided to you. Your Honor, if the counsel. Your Honor, annexure number 16, there can be seen a car exchange CCTV footage that has been exhibited by this Honorable Court. Therefore, the prosecution relying on that evidence says is that at 10:10 p.m., where the car exchange took place, there was an alibi. The prosecution seeks to, if the Honorable Bench may refer to this map and if the defense may refers to this map, the prosecution would like to establish here that there is a toll plaza over here. The address of the office has been confirmed by the witness herself. Therefore, in the Honorable Court, if you may see Mahatma Mandir, that has been taken just as a coordinate. However, it's near the office is near there. Therefore, the toll plaza was crossed at 9:56 by the victim, 9:58 by the accused. At 10:10, the accused and the unidentified individual in this particular case went into an unidentified location which was near the toll plaza. Further, the victim continued to stay on the SG highway route, and then the accused had a car exchange where his original XUV car was exchanged with the unidentified car and he had the other car. In this case, let us assume a simple white or a grey car. Much obliged. A white or a grey car. If Your Honor may refer to this map of D4 if you have, wherein you can see, Your Honor, there are two routes. There is a circle which is known as the Vaishno Devi circle, wherein there has been a small U-shaped or a C-shaped route that has been taken. It must be noted to the Honorable Bench that the accused used to live in Thaltej. The Thaltej area, which is easily accessible by the SG highway, and the route that has been taken is the back route through which you can reach Thaltej highway. Your Honor, the prosecution claims that the alibi that has been done, that is the unidentified individual in the black SUV, took this particular route and reached the residence at 10:45. The same has been verified with the statement of the guard and the car exchange video. Now, understanding, Your Honor, the CDR reports that have been submitted. Your Honor, the CDR reports are generated when a call has been made. Your Honor, if the prosecution may allow to explain with an example, if the counsel makes a call today to some other place, then the location shall be shown of NFSU. However, if the police wants to track the location of which hotel I was residing in, the police cannot do so. Therefore, if the prosecution or the investigation is claiming that the CDR reports place the accused in the vicinity of ISG highway, that indicates that the accused was there and had made some calls. Your Honor, on SG highway, there are a lot of commercial buildings, high-rise buildings such as Nirma University, Godrej Garden City, Shantigram, Palladium Mall. Therefore, it can be assumed and it can be asserted that there are cell towers at every 500 to 1 kilometer distance, Your Honor. So, if the CDR reports are placing that the vicinity of SG highway, it can be assumed that the accused was present in the crime scene during at that particular point of time.
Can court assume?
Your Honor, this is...
What is the general principle of criminal jurisprudence?
It is to prove a beyond reasonable doubt, and in the case of circumstantial evidence, Your Honor, the prosecution is trying to establish every single circumstance that led to the death of the accused. Furthermore, Your Honor, since it has been established that taking a different route it was reached, the accused that reached to the crime scene, Your Honor. When the accused reached to the crime scene, the victim's car was already there due to battery failure. The victim was seeking help. The accused got on. It can be in this case assumed that a murder weapon such as a bat or a heavy object had been used. A murder weapon has been used since a high impact collision has not been done. Also, to corroborate that particular point, the victim has been hit in the head, that is the back of the head, causing craniocerebral damage due to blunt force trauma. Your Honor, it must be stated that such an injury is sufficient in ordinary course of death to cause death. The prosecution would like to cite the case of Raja Ram Limbachi versus State of Maharashtra, case number 7, where it has been stated that all the lacerations on the left cerebrum vertically as well as subarachnoid hematoma on the left side. The lacerations over the occipital region over the cerebellum and sphenoid hemorrhage on the thoracic region. Therefore, it means that they are, if Your Honor may refer to paragraph number 6, it was said that all the injuries are ante-mortem and the injuries were sufficient in ordinary course of nature to cause death. Furthermore, Your Honor, the prosecution submits that the victim was hit by such an incident and it has been established that the death had occurred between 10:18 to 10:36. The distance of the car exchange at 10:10 and the crime scene is about 20 kilometers per hour. Your Honor, it takes merely a speed of 60 kilometers per hour of a car to drive at that particular scene to cover 20 kilometers in 20 minutes. Therefore, if assumed at 10:10 the accused was the car engine, he must have reached the crime spot at 10:30 approximately. The CCTV footage is missing till 10:36 and Your Honor, 5 minutes are very much enough. The victim has forensic arm injuries depicting that there are defensive injuries. There are no other injuries on the body, there are no any assault injuries, there are no any other specimens included in this. Therefore, it can be established that the injury was sufficient in ordinary course of nature to cause death. Your Honor, furthermore, the CVR reports, the toll plaza reports, the guard has not been able to identify whether the accused was in the car or not. In that cases, Your Honor, the alibi has been established. Further, Your Honor, the prosecution would like to cite Sharad Vibhishan versus State of Maharashtra, where it must be seen that the circumstances from which the conclusion of guilt is to be drawn must be fully established. Your Honor, the circumstances have been straight from fully the start. The accused went beyond his profession and started threatening personally the victim himself. He used to personally contact the victim. During even the course of 5th April to 11th April, there were multiple communications from Shekhar Infra Private Limited. The dying declaration that the victim gave of pressure and documents. Your Honor, that was the pressure that was put on the victim by the accused, that the pressure to change the documents. Had it been somebody else, the victim would have never stated the words pressure and documents. The victim had been put under the pressure since the past 6 to 7 days and it was just not merely something that was new put on before the victim. And therefore, the prosecution states that the accused has caused and committed the death of Ms. Neha Chopra, and after completion of the crime, he moved from that particular crime scene and he went ahead. There have been no records found by the accused for the same. That's all, Your Honor. If Your Honors have no further questions, the prosecution would like to proceed with the prayer. Apologies, Your Honor. Apologies, Your Honor. One more addition regarding the charge of 238 under section BNS. Your Honor, the prosecution also claims that false evidence has been provided before the court, where it is submitted that the tampering of dash cam, the missing CCTV footage, and the unexplained vehicle exchange are not just coincidence. The prosecution would like to state Moti Ram versus State of UP, where it was
false evidence.
Yes, Your Honor. The dash cam.
238 speaks of what? 238 BNS speaks about false evidence or destruction of evidence.
It states that if no error in stating either the offence or the particulars required to be stated in the charge, and no omission to state the offence or those particulars shall be regarded at any apologies, Your Honor, once.
BNS.
Yes.
It is about disappearance.
Disappearance, destruction of evidence.
The counsel humbly apologizes for the much.
So instead of false evidence, accuse them destroy the evidence or cause disappearance of the evidence.
The counsel told it in the flow. Apologies.
Therefore, disappearance of evidences such as eatery of the CCTV footage, the meta-altered data timestamps of the car, and further the unexplained vehicle exchange. The council would like to state Moti Singh versus State of UP, where it was stated when the accused is unable to explain the circumstances or give justification or explanations in the facts that he is aware of, in that case it will be presumed it is against his knowledge. Further, as held in Palvinder Kaur and Vaibhav versus State of Maharashtra, even if the main offence is debated, however, hiding evidence itself is punishable. Therefore, the accused should be liable under section 238 of BNS for attempting to screen the offence. If the Honourable Bench has no further questions, the Council would like to proceed with it. Much obliged. Wherefore, in the lights of the facts presented, the issues raised, arguments advanced and authorities cited, the Council on behalf of the prosecution humbly prays before this Honourable Court to adjudge and hold and declare that the act of the accused amounts to murder and is liable under section 103 of BNS 2023, and secondly, hold that the accused is also liable under section 238 of BNS for causing disappearance of evidence of offence or giving false information to screen offender, and or pass any other order, decree and relief that it may deem fit in the interest of justice, equity, fairness and good conscience. And for this act of kindness, the prosecution shall always forever be bound.
Your Lordships, the Defence Counsel seeks permission to begin with the closing statement. Your Lordship, firstly it has to be noted that during the opening statement, my learned colleague promised the court that he will prove the documents. These documents are not proved. Today, this document, if you see the title of the document, it is Prosecution Map. Under section 30, the relevancy of under section 30 of the Bharatiya Sakshi Adhiniyam, a map or any document related to it can be considered if it is taken from a public record. It has to be if it is from Gujarat government, it has to be logo of a Gujarat government. Today, if I am willing, I will draw one more highway from here and I will prove my case. Your Lordship, this should not be accepted at all. Secondly, I fail to understand the concept of alibi. Alibi, in my knowledge, is a defense taken by the accused to show that he was in another place. Today, we are for the accused, we are not taking any defense of alibi. I don't know how this alibi is coming. Secondly, these are some Google Maps photo. Google Map is a thing which can be altered by any human being, and therefore this should not be admissible before the court. To begin with, my arguments for the closing will be advanced in threefold manner. Firstly, I will prove that the prosecution has failed to establish a mens rea. Secondly, I will show to the court how deliberately the investigating officer was not brought before the court to just to make sure the court is not aware about the loopholes that were conducted in the investigation. Thirdly, I will make sure that the ingredients of 238 which are taken before against my clients are disproved. To begin with the mens rea part, Your Lordship, it is the case of the prosecution that just because Neha rejected the bid, my client went against her, he caused her injury which led to her death. However, it is important to note that between 6 to 11, the date when crime was committed, he never contacted Neha. We agree to the fact that on 5th April, there were certain altercations between Neha and Ravi. However, after that, there is no record to show that Ravi ever contacted Neha. Today, the prosecution counsel came to the court and told that there are certain WhatsApp messages, CDR records which are there. However, the IO was never brought to show those records to the court. Even if that is the case, today Neha's mobile, the accused mobile, are with the prosecution. They are not bringing any evidence to show that between 6th April or till the date when the crime was committed, Ravi ever tried contacting her. With respect to the testimony taken by Ananya Mehta, now the only describe the exact details of the when Ravi entered the office and started threatening her. Therefore, and all her evidences were based on the opinions she heard from the employees of the infrazone. Therefore, it is clear case of hearsay evidence, and hearsay evidence should not be admissible. Your Lordship, further to that, the counsel for the prosecution has deliberately not placed before the court Annexure 60, that is the CCTV footage of the exchange. Now, in a nutshell, if the court permits, the counsel will be grateful if the court went through the CCTV. Otherwise, I'll explain what happened in nutshell during that answer.
We have gone through that CCTV of
During
the exchange.
Exchange.
So we have seen it.
You may very quickly explain your point of view. That would be better.
Yes. Your Lordship, the exchange shows two cars. One where Ravi is seen, and second is an unidentified person. Your Lordship, if you see that Ravi exchanged his car, one car went in an opposite direction. If I can try to demonstrate, this is the car which Ravi got down and he sat in this car. This car went in this direction. This is the direction of Toll Plaza. Therefore, he crossed Toll Plaza and he was never present at the crime scene. If you see, his direction was this. Neha's car was at a service road. Therefore, the car which Ravi was sitting never went to the service road at all. The second car which went towards the residence was driven by one of the employee of infrazone. Therefore, it went to the infrazone residence of Ravi Shekhar, which was correctly identified by Brijpal Singh. Therefore, both these vehicles which are in question and which are related to Ravi Shekhar never went to the service road where Neha was found in. There is not a single CCTV footage. They have deliberately not showed, Your Lordship, even a CCTV footage which shows presence of the accused at the crime scene. Both the vehicles were driven from the main highway. The act of incidence is at the service road. Both the vehicles were never present at the service road. Your Lordship, may I continue? At all. Merely being in the proximity of the incident does not make him entirely liable. Your Lordship, secondly, if you see address of Ravi Shekhar, he is a resident in a place where it is necessary for him to cross the service road, cross the SG highway. Therefore, it becomes very speculative just to give an assumption that just because he was in a proximate area, he is liable for the crime. Your Lordship, secondly, it is the allegation of the prosecution counsel that he was chasing Neha. We have to make sure one fact that if you see the CCTV footage, Ravi Shekhar and the other person were in a relaxed state. They were not in a hasty manner. They were not nervous or restless. Other to that, the distance between the exchange and where the crime scene happened has a 20-kilometer gap. Your Lordship, if a person is trying to chase someone, you would not be in a state that you will leave even 2 or 3 minutes. Your Lordship, therefore, this shows that accused never intended to kill Neha. Further to that, charges of 238 have been charged against my client. The primary reason for charging him was first that the dash cam has been altered. Second, that CDR records and phone records are not available. Your Lordship, the dash cam is in possession of the prosecution. Today, they are making allegations that the dash cam has been altered by my client. However, there has to be something to show, a forensic report to show that the dash cam has been altered. We disprove the fact that the dash cam has been altered. Secondly, Your Lordship, the question is related to an unidentified person. The prosecution never attempted to ask the accused who the unidentified person was. If that has been asked to us, we would have been given a reasonable answer to that, which was not done. Secondly, Your Lordship, the unidentified car is still in possession with the accused. You can anytime come and inspect the car. They are just merely taking allegation. With respect to the investigation failures, Your Lordship, if I can pointed out, Neha's car, which is in possession of the prosecution, was never inspected. Secondly, Your Lordship, selective evidences have been placed before you today just to show that the accused has created threats to Neha. Your Lordship, if you, with respect to the comments made on injuries, the prosecution failed to prove the medical document, the post-mortem document. Therefore, their submission with respect to the injuries should not be considered. Fourthly, during the arguments, my learned friend said that it was a dying declaration. Your Lordship, under section 26 of the Bharatiya Sakshi Adhiniyam, a dying declaration should be clear and properly recorded. Brijpal, Hemant Patel, apologies Your Lordship, Hemant Patel, the constable itself admitted the fact that he heard pressure and document faintly and not clearly. Secondly, the declaration was never recorded. She was in a semi-conscious state and she died after by passage of a lot of time in the hospital. Therefore, the submission with respect to dying declaration should not be admissible. Later, Your Lordship, the investigation today has spanned over months, and therefore there is not a single record which has been placed before the court which is incriminating against my client. Therefore, Your Lordship, it is humbly prayed before the court. Apologies, Your Lordship. One judgment, if I can make submission, the prosecution was relying on the judgment of Sharda Virdijan. Your Lordship, given a defense on that judgment itself, the prosecution will place only 3 points. Firstly, Sharda Virdijan judgment says that talks about the Panchashil element. In a nutshell, Panchashil elements gives a burden on the prosecution to link all the evidences which points towards the guilt of the accused. Not a single evidence shows that my client was present at the service room. Secondly, Your Lordship, it is the judgment of Sharda Virdijan which itself says that suspicion, however stronger, cannot be taken as an element of proof. And if there are 2 doubts, one pointing towards the innocence and once towards once that is incriminating him, the accused should be given a defense of reasonable doubt to escape. On that basis, Your Lordship, the defense humbly prays that all the charges which are
prosecution has also put a charge of 238 on the basis of that cafeteria's CCTV footage is also missing. What do you want to say about it?
Surely, Your Lordship. Firstly, accused is not in the position to manipulate the classy food owner. Secondly, he was not in possession of the CCTV footage of the classy foods. It was prosecution's witness, that is investigating officer, who went to classy food owner, collected the CCTV footage. Accused was not even sure who the owner of the classy food is. Therefore, this contention should not be accepted. Therefore, we humbly pray that acquit our client from all the charges which are leveled against him.
TR 6, TR 1. 6.
For me, or
Or we have to. Thank you very much, everyone.
on the part.
The proceedings of this courtroom has concluded. However, all of you are required to sit down as the judges would now be providing feedback to the participants.
First of all, you all are very blessed by the God, because when we were practicing learning law, we don't have this book court or something like competition which you have today. So only after qualifying as an law graduate, we used to enter the court premises. We never have seen court premises previously. So the way in which we are contesting among each other, it's excellent to see you as a student. I wish that you all continue to do so even after graduation, and your performance in the court is appreciated by each and all. Thank you very much for enriching us.
Feedback that would be much better.
Individually.
See, it's a process of learning. Don't ask any insight from anyone. Just try to improve yourself. Don't ask. I'm not condemning you.
No.
It will help in enriching yourself.
Sure, sir.
You should always aim of doing better and better. Don't even compare with anybody.
आपने सबने बहुत मेहनत की है और वो दिखता है, सब अप्रिशिएट कर रहे हैं। आप लोगों से आप 6 जनों से ज़्यादा केवल फिटनेस से मेहनत की है। बेस्ट फिटनेस अवार्ड किसको मिलता है वो मैं ज़्यादा
SLU has played witness. Who are they?
So actually they are
Students of NFSU.
NFSU provides
Students
of this college only.
This college.
And we provide
Law faculty.
Yes, sir. We provide their access.
They were more worried for you. They are frightened. The person was, I think, here, probably constable, was frightened.
All of you have done phenomenally well. Congratulations and all the best.